Talofa, everybody. Pula vinaka, aloha, kia ora. What else is there?
I got
Yeah.
Hello.
Come again. Hello. Well, welcome. I got I have a special guest today. Welcome to the Gets Done podcast family. We're all about resetting, rebuilding, and reconnecting with great people like my classmate right here. I'm going to introduce him very shortly, but tune into this. We are very grateful and blessed to have this platform to share people's gift, their knowledge, and I grew up with this guy, and one of the humblest people that I know. One of my classmates, one of my best friends, I can say, growing up here in La'i, in Hawaii. But I'd like to welcome uh, Pres Galea'I.
Yep.
Welcome, my brother.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. And again, family, like I said, join in, tune in. If we put a smile on your face today, if you laugh at anything we do, that means we did our job. That means we did our job, and it's all about fun. It's all about uplifting. But you know how we do it. Share with somebody. Subscribe to what we do, so we can create a positive community. So we can have more people like Perez come on and share what we do and share what we love. But thank you tuning in, my man. How we doing, brother?
We're good. We're good. First off, I just introduced myself. President Galea'I.
Yeah.
I was my parents are Tafili and Fao Galea'I. They were travelers, performers. So that's why I was born in Fall River, Massachusetts. And then all my siblings were born in different states and countries too. So um, been there, went to the west side, west coast. I was in the East Coast, born in the East Coast, moved to the West Coast. We stayed in Sacramento, California. Then we came to Hawaii and then went to Samoa for like 4 years, elementary time. That's where I went to school there. And then came back to Koku from 7th grade until graduation. And then we would go back and forth to California and stuff here and there. But that's where we were at, Red Raiders, and in the highest class in high school.
Yes, go.
GT slep class.
Slept for life.
Slept for life.
And we're good about that. We're good about that.
Yeah.
And before Galea'I family, if you do not know here in La'i, it is a well-known family like a lot of us. And I'm going to come back to that, to your dad. Your dad plays a very important role in what everyone's doing right now in the fire knife role, and also your uncle. Rest in peace to our both the Pulefano Ainga. But I want to go back. I came from Samoa at a young age too, and fob as ever, which is okay. I love it. I'm still fob, and we met at a young age here in La'i. How was your upbringing growing up? Because you went East Coast, West Coast, Samoa, back to La'i. So how was that transition for you? What happened when you got here?
Living and moving around and just experienced the entertainment world lifestyle as a kid. So we'd always go watch my dad's show. He was traveling, so he had a show with my parents. They were all a part of it. So we would always just be around it, go to the club, be that little kid in the booth waiting for them to finish, and then getting tips from all the people that was there from the bar and stuff. So, and then we also been a part of the show as well. Later, at one point, I was doing tattoo, from the Fantasy Island. I had to wear the white suit and do the plane in the show. So it was fun, but it's just being around there. That's how it kind of helped me to know the entertainment side. Even though I haven't been into like the showman part, the show part, like over here at PCC and stuff, but I still knew what it was, the experience of entertainment business life type stuff. But it was fun. It was fun growing up for that. Then when I went to Samoa, that was different. Like that was a real culture shock for me. My first breakfast or the lunch that we had over there at Aua school. I went to Aua school, and I didn't know how to react because the meal was the fa'i and kalebe pisupo. But coming from the mainland and that's your lunch, I was like, how do you eat this? You know, I was just shocked. So all of my friends said, I'll eat it. But it was a good experience. Now when I look back, it helped me be grateful.
Yeah.
But that time when I was in it, I was just like, what is going on? Only had 3 spoons in the whole calf. We had to share, you know. I had to wait for the kid to finish with their spoon. And there's just a lot of stuff the teachers beat you up and stuff like that. So I didn't know you can do that. The first person, funny story, first person that I realized that you can run away from it. Because I thought you were supposed to just take the beating from the teacher. Because we used to get beat up because if you didn't know your times tables. And you know how they used to do they give you a tempo, a beat.
Yeah.
And then you have to say the times tables, 2 1 2 2 2 4 2, you know, all that stuff. But I didn't know my 12 times table. And I messed up. The teacher came, beat me up. But this time I was at Midgift. So I went around in the island, different elementaries. And then when I went to that school, the teacher came, slapped me, beat us up, whatever. And I was scared. I thought you can't tell your parents because then they're going to beat you up too. But the first guy that I remember, he ran away from the teacher was Gabriel Reed. He was my classmate. Congratulations to him too. He's one of the general authority person. But he ran away, and then he was able to tell his parents or his mom to come in. The teacher got in trouble, but after that, I was like, oh man, they can't touch me no more. I'm gonna tell my parents. So that's when things happened, and then I just realized it was just all discipline and stuff. So I appreciated that, learning to appreciate things. You know, like it was build my gratitude towards everything in life from living in Samoa and came to Hawaii. I think we shared the first best friend, Senga. Coming from the island, he was like our first, showing us how to ride the bike, how to fix the tires.
Take us to the beach.
Yeah. So that's Senga Nunga. That's who was coming to Lai. So that's pretty much growing up. That's my upbringing. Was just we wasn't rich or anything, but my parents always found a way to feed our whole family. We had like so many people in the house, living wherever we were living. I think we had like maybe 4 families of like 6 or whatever. And in and out, people were always coming home. It was just a big family get together. But my dad then would always cook like a big pot of rice and like all the different kalebes.
See?
And then it's just as long as you have that in there,
can't go wrong.
You feed everybody, you know. And then McDonald's was like a luxury, you know what I mean? Like it was a gift. If you was able to get McDonald's, you're lucky.
You did good at school.
yeah, exactly.
I'd like to thank you for sharing that about the in Samoa. If you haven't tried the fa'i and kalebe, you're missing out. You know, that's like steak right now.
Yeah, I love it now too.
For the kids in Samoa. I'd like to go back to your dad because, yes, your dad plays a big role in the community, not in the community, but I think in Uncle Polifano in this whole transition of fire knife, being in the family industry, you know, that's still going on to this time, you know, and from Uncle Polifano to your dad, are the guys that kind of started this entertainment, this fire, and now it's just kind of on spread. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of these a lot of these kids, all these fire knife know, I want you guys to do your homework about all the legends that's been, where all these fire knives came from and all the entertainment. I'm sure it wasn't easy. Can you share a little bit about your dad, about his journey?
Yeah, I actually posted a video of my dad's journey.
I saw.
He explains everything of what happens, of how he started and stuff. But ever since we've been little, he's been telling us the story, but we never really paid attention to the story until recently. Like growing up, he would explain, talk about it, but you know how when you're young, trying to, I don't care about that, I'm doing my own thing kind of stuff. And we didn't pay mind to it. But right now, when I look back of all the stuff that he's done, it's amazing. Like I'm tripping out as how he did all that with this amount of education. Like he just did it with whatever he was learning. He was willing to learn, and he did it for his family. He had a purpose, was for the family.
Yeah.
So when he came from Samoa, he was born in Manua. He came from Samoa. He moved to Tutuila with the family, and then later during that time, the grandparents came here to Laie. There was, I think, just my grandpa came first, then my grandma and some of my aunties, and then he was the last one with one of my aunties to come on the boat to Hawaii. So when he came, that time when he was on the boat, that's when David O. McKay was on the boat. Same time, like when he came here for the BYU, he did a conference or something here. But when he came to Laie, that's when his sister told him come with him to the Hukilau. The Hukilau is that first luau, I think first paid luau they had. They were doing fundraisers, stuff before PCC. That was the show.
Yeah.
And then he learned from the instructors. There was a couple that was teaching them, and then they made him become like do the solo fire knife dance.
Fire knife, yeah.
But there was no fire at that time. So this is from his story. I'm just sharing his story. There was no fire at the time, so he learned the fire knife he learned the ailau dancing as a solo, and then when he did one show at one of the shows in Hukilau, there was a magician. He said the ones who do the fire dancing like in their act, the fire,
blow the fire
and stuff.
Yeah.
He came up to my dad after and told him, if you put fire on the knife, then you're gonna be rich, or you know what I mean. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna turn out good. So my dad asked him, well, how do I do it? So he explained to him the whole technique of how to wrap the thing with the asbestos or something, and then put the lighter fluid, and then he did it. After the magician is the one who showed him how to do it. So my dad didn't really think about doing it, but the magician told him how it should be done. But he was put it on, and he said he was the first one to do the fire at that time. So he did the fire, and then after that, the whole community was there, more than the tourists that came. So he was just saying it was like a good experience for the first time showing it. And then from there, later on down the road, that's when Ray Keeny came from Waikiki. He heard about him and then offered him a job in Waikiki. So then he was the first fire knife dancer in Waikiki. And then that's when he did the 3 hotels that was there at that time. And then they took him to promote Hawaii, which is the movie Hawaii back in that time. And that's where he went travel the world with them to kind of promote Hawaii. And so he kind of plays a big role as an ambassador for Hawaii as well.
Exactly.
Not just, and that's what nowadays everybody knows the luau as a fire knife dancing at the end. But that was his story towards that. But at that time, he was in school, high school. He had to kind of drop out for a little bit, and then he went back later to get his diploma. And then he went, I think, 1 year at BYU Church College that time. And he was just doing to support his family. So he would tell us every time, we're lucky that when we started work, we would try to keep our whole money, like when we were young. But when he was young, he had to always get the money, give the check straight to his mom, and then the mom gives him 50 cents or whatever she want to give. But yeah, so that's how he started with that whole thing. And then later, he said he kind of started a band with his other brother, Uncle Duke, Galea'I, and I think it was Kalili Hunt, and then Mangi, Ella them's brother, Ovanu them's dad. He was the drummer for my dad. And then so he started that, and then that's when Lani Kai, who was an actor, saw him at in Kauai, and then he took the band to Hollywood. And that's where they were supposed to do Gilligan's Island and like I think Hawaiian Eye or something. One of the movie shows. They performed and stuff in that, and that's how he got to Hollywood. Then he started his own show and traveled the world. And he met my mom, and then her and her sisters and all of his brothers. They had a show, travel the world, East Coast, West Coast, wherever. And then that's where we were all born during that time. And then came about, and then we all had our own ways of doing things. But we all took a piece of what my dad did. But I was always proud of him to do it without any education, because I trip out like, how did he even fly the airplanes and stuff? Like get to things when I was that age, I was like, man, I can't even fill out the dentist form. I'm like, where do I put my name at? So like for him coming from the islands, not speaking good English, I think that was a cool life that he lived. Like, and he wasn't afraid to just try it. And then so that's how. And he said the way they started their show was the first 5 checks they had to save it to buy better equipment, uniform, outfit, all that stuff, until they got enough to get paid. So they had to plan it, and then they were, it just was being smart about their money that time. But at the same time, all that time he traveled, he mentioned that he baptized many people at the same time.
Oh wow!
So that's where I was like, wait, how do you do both?
Yeah.
Showmanship is show business is a lot of other
easy.
kind of business.
It's not easy.
So that's why we have a lot of siblings, other people we don't even know. But hey, that's just life. So yeah.
Man, that's such an amazing story about your dad and his family. Because the show business is not easy. You travel, you leave your family behind, and back then you're not making money. Yeah. You're probably just making something just to eat at that time, I'm thinking. Right. And it's not easy to start a business like that. What did you take from your dad? What has all those experiences that what did you take from that to help you be where you at now?
I learned a lot from my dad, like stuff, and what I took from him, I think the most was to be humble but be fearless at the same time, because he was fearless to me. I say, like, because he just jumped and wasn't afraid to fail. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel now. Like when I take things, I kind of just go for it. Like I'm not afraid for the outcome, but I know that the results will be more beneficial. So that's why I think that's what I took from him the most, that I appreciate him having or taught me. So.
And I appreciate that when you said fearless. I want to go back to my text that I sent you. You know what I mean? And I want to go back to fearless. I text you earlier, like, because I was inspired to pull towards you. Like, this is my guy. You know what I mean? We don't hang out as much. We don't see each other, but we still have the relationship. But I connect with you in a certain way. I'm like, this is my guy. When I send you that text, I want to get you on a podcast, And then you text back to me like, no, I'm something like, oh, I'm not.
A bubblegum, man.
Yeah.
You're not worthy to.
Bubblegum means like you're not good enough. It's like a slang here in like you're not good enough. So in my mind, like, okay, I didn't answer you right away.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't answer right away. I left it alone for like a couple of days, like, okay, sit on it. And then you text me back like, yes, you're gonna do it. What was that mindset when you received that text, and what was going through your head at that time? Like, why did you say you wasn't worthy enough?
I'm pretty much, that's the other thing I learned from my dad, is to kind of just be humble, but that's how I kind of felt like it was, like a light thing. We kind of just like, sell like bubble gum, like don't want to boost yourself. But that's one thing I learned when I was trying to move up in the ranks in PCC. When I went for a higher job, at one of the panels when I was in, I didn't get the job, but because of my interview, I was kind of acting the way that I responded to. I was kind of like acting shame, because I knew everybody on the panel, and then I was just didn't want to show off and say, "Oh, I can do this, I can do this." And so when I was in the interview, everything was like just bare minimum. Like I wasn't really showcasing what I could do. Then after I didn't get the job, the panel shared with me, as Polynesians, we're real modest and we're humble and stuff. So we have to learn that in this world, you have to sell yourself. Like you have to showcase you can do it, and let them know, because they're never going to know if you don't tell them or you don't advertise it to them. So that's where I learned, like, okay, I gotta change my way of.
It's okay to
It's okay
tell them you're
to
good.
tell you, yeah, how
You're
good you
good.
are.
Yeah.
It's not bragging. It's
Yeah.
just
What you're worth.
showcasing, right, your value. You're showing
Yeah,
them your value
exactly.
with it, and that's what. Ever since that time, I changed the way I would uh present myself. It's just like I'm not trying to brag because me, I don't like to brag, like so,
Yeah.
or like to even boast about myself. But that's sometimes you need that in order for
Yeah.
people to know who you are, what you're capable of doing, and stuff. So that's why I was just joking on the
Mm.
on the text, but then after I was like, nah, I better let him know because I didn't know if you because you didn't text back. So I was like,
Mm.
oh, you probably this guy, why I'm not like help me.
No.
But I appreciate to be able to talk about what I do. You know what I mean? So and share my story. That's pretty much that's why I responded back like we can do
Yeah.
it here and um just get it out there or whatever.
And what's so true about that, like us Polynesian people, we get so stuck about, yes, we want to be humble and not show off in a way, but also there's a way like I am worthy of this job.
Right.
And it's okay to say, hey, I deserve this job or I can do this. You know what I mean? And especially in our Polynesian culture, especially like in your own community, in every small community, there's that kind of mindset like you don't want to be looked at a certain way.
Right.
And it's okay if you get looked at a certain way. It's okay if they say, oh, well, why you think you all that? Or, well,
Yeah.
it's okay because, I know those people that's doing that, saying that they haven't reached that space yet to
Right.
come out of their comfort zone. So I'm so glad, brother, that you felt that way. You took what your dad said and just leap, right? Like
Right.
we should never put a ceiling over our head. Like, oh, this is as far as I can go. Like, no
Exactly.
ways.
Yeah, and just to add to that, yeah, it's really sky's the limit for real. It's just how much work you want to put in,
Mm.
and you can go as far as you want. Like put your mind to it. So mindset, that's pretty much what it is, and your attitude. If you
Mm-hmm.
can put those together, bro, nothing can break you. Like, and then you know your skill. It is just sharpen your skill, your
Yeah,
techniques and stuff to help you get better tools to get to where you want to be.
yeah. And it's good to be humble. I just want to say it's
Yep.
good to be humble, but it's also good to share your talent, your gift that you're blessed with.
Right.
Because God blesses with the gift and the talent that if we don't use those talents, then somebody else is going to step over us.
Right.
We use our talent to bring out other people's talent that can make them feel better and bring them out of their comfort zone.
Exactly. And it also could be what you do, like how Tupac said, like you might not be the one, but you could be the one to spark the mind of the future leader. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
anything through your actions can help another person. But we're just an instrument here on earth for Heavenly Father to do His will. So that's pretty much another thing that I took from my dad was just trusting the Lord. He's going to take care of, and I believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that
Yeah.
too. I want to tie all that back to your dad's journey in starting off with nothing, no English, school, all that is so limited.
Right.
And all that you took, I think it ties all that back right here to what you're doing now. I'm sitting here, I feel in your spirit, Amana, and I'm looking at your shirt, President Galea'I, executive chef, So I always think like, yeah, anytime I see like my friends or people moving and doing what they love and just going, man, I'm so excited about that. And I want to embrace that and celebrate with them, celebrate with
Yeah.
you where you at. And that's what our people needs more, to celebrate what they're doing.
Right.
We gotta celebrate each other what they're doing, not what they did wrong or not what they never did. And who cares? But I wanna. That's why this time I wanna celebrate with you where you at. Can you share, um, right here? How did that become? You know?
This is how I got here. Is everything kind of what we just shared?
Yeah.
Just taking a leap and stuff. But it all started back in '98 when I first started work in PCC. Los Amores was the one who gave me the job. And he just retired, so congratulations.
Yeah.
And then I had a lot of my mentors going out through there, but I had 5 years that I worked at PCC first, from dishwasher all the way up. The reason why I was working food service because I didn't want to take my shirt off and dance at the night show with the rest of my family. So I was just kind of
Why
ashamed.
not? Why
I
not?
was like, I'm not gonna go for that. I'm gonna go a different route.
Yeah.
So that's why I went the food service route.
Mm.
And then so started off dishwasher, ended up the food runner, and then pantry area where when you come for dishwasher
Yeah.
and they would call in their shirt, so then they call it, hey, leave that, come help us. Then we kept helping, and then we stayed in that area.
Mm.
Then we helped the cooks, all those of cutting the fish and thawing out the chicken. So everybody worked in the kitchen, they'll know. I actually learned from that's the first time I learned you can't use hot water to defrost chicken. Like it's gonna spoil your chicken quick. But a funny story was Kim Lemusu. She was the supervisor at the time, and when you're young, trying to rush so you can go leave early.
Yeah.
But I went and I put out all the chicken, put it inside, and I turned on the hot water, thinking it would make it faster.
Yeah.
Then I left for like maybe half hour or whatever. Came back, and she just scolded me. I was like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Look, did you use hot water?" "Oh no, I used cold water." It went over there, it was all spoiled, the whole chicken. I was like, "Oh shoot!" And then till this day, I have to watch my students too.
Oh.
In our area when they defrost the chicken, I had to make sure no hot water.
No hot water.
They can't trick me because I was like, bro, I know exactly what's gonna happen. It's through that experience that I never made that mistake again.
I never know that.
Yeah, you can't.
I never know that.
Unless you're gonna cook it already.
Okay.
But then, if not, it's gonna spoil the chicken real quick. So it has to be cold water or cold running water and stuff. But yeah, so it started with PCC. That's where I learned how to work. So over there, I learned from Alofa Mangale.
Mm-hmm.
She was like the sergeant of the kitchen, and
Yeah,
we was working with Chef Ramos that time, and Frida, and what's Saini? No, not Saini. I forgot her name. The baker, but I became a lead over there for the pantry area, full time lead that I needed for my insurance for my kids. The whole thing was my when I got married in '98, and then we had my son Bison in 99. He was born. So once he was born, that's when everything changed for me. It was about him, not me. So he was my purpose or my reason that I can't say, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm done." Like I had to keep pushing for them, for him and my wife. So that's where I all those hard times. Food service is the hardest industry to work with because the hours are like crazy. Like you come in early, leave late. You just got to get the job done, type of thing. So that's why some people can't handle it. They'll quit or whatever. But the reason why I stuck with it was because of my purpose was for my family. Yeah? So that's where I went through that at PCC. And then the journey went through PCC. I was trying to move up the ranks to become on another level because I didn't really like cooking or anything, but I told myself if I'm going to be in this industry, I want to be the best at whatever I'm at doing, the highest within my area that I work in.
Right.
So that's when I went for that position, the one that I didn't get, and one of the positions that I went for, and I went against one of the veterans people, employees that was there, and they got the job, but I felt I knew how to do everything. Like I said, I can do the whole job. I can drive the forklift. I can do all the stuff. But then I asked them, the panel, how come I didn't get the job over them? And they said they had more experience than me. So then when they told me that, I was like, wait, how do you get experience? Because that time you're young, you don't know, you think you know everything. Yeah. You're with the crew that's talking about other bosses and so what I mean, stuff like that. But so I learned when they told me that, then I told myself, okay, I'm gonna go and try to get as much experience I can get within a small time gap. Because I was trying to plan my life. Like by this age, I should be at this time. So that's kind of like what I was doing, the math for that. And then that's when Joe Mau, he was one of the managers over there. So I said, I'm going to start hanging out with the managers, like change my circle.
Right.
And then try to get off of, the knowledge, pick their brains, and just surrounding myself with the managers. And I was still just the salad lead. So, but then I told Losa, I said, is there a way that I can cover for all the supervisors or the managers for each restaurant at night. I'll come on my own time. I won't clock in. I'll just work my morning shift, then I'll come back at night and cover for them. And then I wanted to learn the operation. So then that's what I had to do. I had to put in the work to learn that. And everybody was like, "What are you doing? How come he's trying to kiss blood? Or how you know what I mean?" The other leads, but I was like, "No, it's not for you guys. You don't have to do it." But then they end up, the bosses made them have to do it too.
Oh yeah.
So they was getting kind of mad, like, "Why do we have to do extra work?" But for me, that's just me. I like to challenge myself, so I would go and do it, learn it, and then I would let them take off and I'll cover it. So every time I started getting used to it, so I understand what it takes. Then after that, that's when an opportunity came at BYU, and then it was a cook. But I wasn't really a cook that time. I was just helping them pan up chicken and stuff. An opportunity came. I went and I got the full time there. So I became the night supervisor cook. But that's how I couldn't even cook the gravy from the bag that time. So I learned through trial and error. Went over there, and my first day, I was trained by Numai Mataele. Right after we finished, then she was like, "Okay, I'm off tomorrow. So tomorrow you by yourself." I was like, "What?" I didn't know what to do. It was like one of those moments where you're just thrown in a fire and just swim, or try to figure out things. So, and then I just had to learn. Then later, Gladys, Lindy, Leva, they all helped me. They was all teaching me, but I was studying. I would kept asking them. I would go extra mile. How do I do this? What's the recipe for this? And stuff like that. And then I messed up a lot. Like I served raw chicken, I served raw pork chop, everything. But through all those mistakes, it made me I'm never gonna make that again. So that's the way I learned. It was harsh, but it was you get bad days, good days. So throughout all that, it helped me better be more confident in what I do. And then that's when I started, okay, I think I can take on this next role. And then I started learning the mindset thing. So I learned about the law of attraction and stuff. I didn't know about it until like maybe 2010, maybe. One of the students that came from Utah, AJ, his name is a Tongan kid. He introduced it to me because I would talk about like things that we do and all that stuff. That he told me, "Oh, have you heard of the secret, the law of attraction?" And that's when I went and did the study. I never heard of it. Then when I looked at it, oh, there's actually a name to it. What are we already doing? And then I learned about how to think and what you say and stuff, how it attracts. Like if you put out negative, you're gonna get negative. Put out positive, you get positive. Like it's a real thing in the universe. So ever since I learned that, it changed my mindset. It changed the way I think. And then that's when I started, hey, I can try to be the best at what I do. So then I would study, practice, do everything. And then that's when I went up to I was a sous chef. I was with Lauren Holly, Chef Lauren. He hired me at BYU. And then later he left. And then Chef Tan, Asian guy from Malaysia, he came, he taught me how to cook. He's the one who showed me how to use the ingredients, taught me what flavors match, what you can use and what you cannot use, stuff like that. So then it made me know how to put things together out of nothing. So he taught me that technique of cooking. So after that, I was able to create and just learn on my own. Once I learned all that, by 2015, that's when I went to the front of the house. I felt I want to learn the whole operation of food service. So I went to the front of the house as a supervisor because one of the supervisors retired. So I had an opening. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give me a year to go and learn the whole front of the house. There's a back of the house and the front of the house. So when in the front of the house, they're the ones who do the servings, the dishwashers, all that stuff to help push the food out. Learn those. Right after that, that's when a year after that, the Seasider manager opened up. They retired, and then that's when I figured, why not? I'm going to try. And then I went for the management level to go learn retail and Seasider. So that's when, and then I got the job. Went inside, and then I learned the numbers and stuff because I wasn't able to do the paperwork, numbers and stuff when I was in the sous chef and in the front of the house. But the management, I actually had a chance to learn with real numbers. So knowing my business, knowing all that, I had to balance it. And then that's when I learned management skills on that part. Learning labor costs, food costs, all of that. I had to, some days you have the red, something, borderline on the bottom line is not working. So I learned all that. And then the year after that, that's when Pounders um, had an opening
At PCC.
at PCC. So then I went back to Pounders in 2020. And then that was when the whole pandemic happened. But I feel all these jumps that I've done so far, it was meant to prepare me for where I'm at now. But like I had to be at those areas, at that position at that time. Like I feel it was like kind of like a calling. Like, because I was thinking, why would I want to go to Pounders when I'm already at a management level? And like I felt like, okay, I'm good, I'm here. But the reason I like the Seasider when I was there because we grew up. Seasiders was a spot, game room, go to Seasider.
Run away to the snack bar.
Snack bar. So just being the manager there was a trip for me because like, man, we was just the kids over here stealing the food or the cookies and stuff from there. And now like running it over there. So it was cool.
Yeah.
And I also had some kids who was coming stealing plates and stuff, but I had to teach them, hey guys, you can't do that. I've been there, done that, but I'll get you one, but next time come and pay or come and ask or something. But it was a good experience to be part of the Seaside part. And then when Pounders opened, when I went there, that's when it was like I was supposed to be there. Like I just went for it. I never been a actual chef that time, and then it was an executive chef opening, and then I just went for it. And out of all the chefs, it was a different. When we had the interviews, who went for it, I already knew like all the chefs. They go to showcase their cooking and stuff, right? So in the interview, I was kind of more hitting towards the numbers part, like the management and stuff, trying to highlight that because sometimes that's what the chef's weakness is, that side of the job. So that's why I was trying to highlight that in the interviews and stuff. And then the Lord needed me there at that time, so that's why I went there at that time. And I feel it was perfect because nobody knew that the pandemic was going to come. And everything when I went in there, the job was focused, the clientele was tourists. But when that happened, it's like we needed the locals to be a part of to be the customer. And then so that's when I was able to tailor it going towards the local to bring them in. And when we was there, it was a good run. We actually did a lot of, we broke a lot of records on the numbers because we only had 50% capacity at that time and also 50% labor. Like, and then we still broke records. We had like 2019 numbers during that pandemic time. So we actually had a good run. We was always busy. Everything was crazy, but it was a good experience for me too. And I also, when I went there, I knew they were building this new building. So the service here was similar to the restaurant. And that's the only one I didn't have that experience was restaurant experience. So that's why I had to go and get that experience. Like I was trying to go for the challenge, learn, and I met a lot of great people on our way. And all the sous chefs there, shout out to them. They still there, Funga, it's a man with Tommy, Mark, and then had Lela too, but I don't know who else is there right now. But all of them and Pounders, man, you guys outstanding. Also Chef Felix, I worked with him. Outstanding. I love and appreciate them and what I've learned from them. I learned more from them than they ever learned from me. But that's what the whole key is for me to learn. Keep learning. Then after that 1 year, I gave them 1 year that I'll be there, and then Chef Tan from here came and let me know that he was leaving. So if I was interested in that, so that's when I came back here to BYU, and then I had to work a year as a sous chef when I came back in for him to train me to be the executive chef here at BYU. The thing that got me to come here, because we're just starting to pick up again at Pounders, and Chef Tan asked me, hey, are you going to come? Are you going to come over because I'm leaving or whatever? I said, I don't know. I'm doing pretty good over there. And then he said, over here would be more opportunities for you. Like it's a bigger place to expand. Yeah, with experience. So, but he said you're gonna get stressed on both sides. So just gotta choose your stress. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get more value here at BYU, but I'm same stress with PCC,
Mm-hmm.
I chose
You
to
take
come
that
here.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I came here because they have a lot of different things. This is for the whole university, not just the Banyan
Mm-hmm.
food service. So we do caterings, we do the Banyan, we do like retail, all of that. So it's more than just the restaurant. Like so, but I took that skill to help me prepare for what they have here at the Banyan. Um, but that was my journey to come here, and then that's how I came here. Took on it, like I said, I just went in being
Yeah.
fearless, and then I
Yeah.
learned through mistakes, and that's the only way I know I'm going to get better. So I look forward to going to make mistakes because I want to learn it to make sure I can never make that again. And then just coming, but like cooking is really not my passion. It's I enjoy it, but it's just like I'm more my I realized my passion was more managing and producing and stuff and directing things. But like that's how I used also with our entertainment and
Yeah.
stuff. Also sharing with my son how he does his, my kids when we
Mm-hmm.
do finance. I put together. We help each other try to create, try to be better, just expand. But
Yeah.
that's what I use the same formula with my cooking and stuff. But cooking is just one element in the whole
Yeah.
operation that I enjoy. But it's this is not my final destination. Like I'm still, it's a stepping stone for me to go to another level of things. You know, like because you just try to prepare your age, your think of your
Mm-hmm.
age, where you want to be at that certain. I can't be doing this like when I'm 60 or
Mm.
before I retire. That's how I look at it. So every time I'm looking like, okay, where would I want to
Yeah.
be when I'm at that age? So I'm just trying to set myself up to get there and then just share the knowledge. Like I just sharing whatever I know because there's a lot of people I wish I knew or somebody shared
Mm-hmm.
with me what I know now that time, then I would have been in the game earlier. But it's just I didn't know. So but
And I think you took that journey at the right time because you said you came from a dishwasher,
right,
a runner, and you had to do all those little things. And I think that's with anything that you strive that you're passionate about. You have to take the beating.
right,
You have to sacrifice the time. You have to do the job that everybody doesn't want to do.
exactly.
You have to be one of the things I learned. You have to do so much inconvenient things
Right,
to kind of build your character, build your confidence, get you out of those comfort zone. Me, so you can break down those barriers. Uh,
right,
and that's what like learning from your dad, the knowledge that he has in entertainment. It's the same thing that you're doing. Yeah, it's the
right,
same transition what you're doing because
right.
you had to learn on your own on all those things, and you fail. I don't like to use the word fail. I say you regroup.
Learn, yep.
You regroup. You come back again and doing a lot better. And now you're the head, executive chef here. So what are some of the challenges now that now you from Pound is a smaller operation. Now you're dealing with the whole university. So a lot can be on your shoulder. So what are some of the challenges or what some of the preps that you get to do here for the university?
Yeah. So right now the challenge is it's everywhere. Like it's hard to find employees,
Mm,
but that's the struggle and what we doing. I mean, working here at BYU, in order to get a full time job or to be hired, you need to have a temple recommend too. So they kind of really filter out a lot. So if you get somebody with a recommend, they might not have the skills. So then that's the setback. So
yeah.
the give and take. But I know that's all made for a reason for the Lord's work to happen here. So what the struggle is trying to get the right help and get the right people on your team. And but that's what I learned. Like I thought when you come in as an executive, you're gonna be just cooking, focus just the food and all that
Hmm.
stuff. But what I've learned working here as an executive, a lot of my time is more counseling, trying to put out little fires in each area because we're over all these. I have
Mhm.
like 6 stations of areas with all the workers that we deal with.
Yeah.
Deal with many different managers, different personalities and stuff. Just being able to keep it all positive. That's where I try to keep it.
And that can be
It's hard,
stressful too.
right?
You try to balance everybody's what is that attitude,
Right,
and when someone comes with an ego, like, no, I know I do it this way.
right.
I do it this way. No, I want to do it this way.
Yeah,
And that can be like challenging for you too as a leader,
yep,
that looks oversees everybody. Is now you're reading everybody.
yep.
Okay, how is this person coming to work? How I'm going to handle this person without, because
Offending. Or
offending. You don't want to
yeah,
bash on them. You want to come out so positive, so that we can uplift them. So you can
right.
uplift them. You know what I mean? Because
That's
you want to come and
exactly
enjoy your boss.
right.
Yeah. You don't want to come to work and have a boss like, I don't like see him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that can be hard on you too, how to adjust to everybody's attitude.
Yep, and that is part of the challenge for any food service or any job. Every job is the same. Like it has the same problems, but it really depends on how you um, approach it.
Hmm.
So for here, it's the same thing. I have my boss, so you have to worry about the boss relationship.
Yeah.
But I love my boss. He's actually really good. He helped teach me a lot.
Mhm.
Dave Calla. So he's been showing me the ropes of how to become a leader, how to be better as a leader, a manager, and a chef. You know what I mean? Like he teaches me so much, and I just pick his brain as much as I can. So I appreciate him. And then also you deal with all the other managers that the front of the house, the catering manager, because you have different responsibilities that you gotta tend to, and
Mhm.
also then you have your students that come in, and then your own supervisor leads in the different areas. You gotta support them to work with
Yeah.
their students and stuff. So it's a whole like operation of a team, just like football. Everybody has to play their part
Do their part.
in order to execute the play.
And even though you don't like that part,
Yeah,
you got to execute that part.
there's a purpose for it and a
Yeah.
reason to make it run smoothly. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. But I'm dealing with a lot of the generation. What's funny over here, all the kids that come in is the same age, like every year, but we get older. So they come in, they're around like 18 to 20, maybe 21.
Hmm.
They leave, they graduate. The next one comes is 18 to 21. So you get the same age, but you can tell the different generation when they come in, the younger ones, like every time. So now you can see the different personality, a lot of stuff they deal with. A lot of our students here on campus, they deal with depression,
Mhm.
anxiety, and stuff. So, whatever we do, I put with my team. I try to tell them that they can come and talk to me. Like the door's always open
Mhm.
if they ever have a problem, and then we just talk to them, counsel them,
I like that.
listen to them, just to help them because not every time there's available spots in for the mental
Yeah.
counseling and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we try to help our employees, the students, just to. So that's the difference. What we can do here, what I try to provide for them, and then just to give them so that they're able. The kitchen is always it's a tense environment, tense.
Mm.
So
And it's time, yeah.
time, everything is
Yeah.
like structured. You got to do this, got to get it out on time, all this and stuff. So there's a lot of pressure already. So for me, my style of doing this is kind of more on a not chill, but I try to keep it positive in the kitchen. I want the energy to be more positive because if you add more tense to them,
Yeah.
the product comes out bad. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
exactly.
they can't really perform to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I would run my stuff. What I try to do. I don't know if you heard of. There was a documentary of how to get the best beef out of a cow,
No.
but they usually bring the cows in like a herd, and then there's a rack that they walk through. So after when they come through the rack, they would shock the head to make it calm, and then after they kill it, and then they go and they butcher the thing, and the meat is soft. But if they would just kill the what do you call the cow
The cow.
when it's like all
Tense.
intense and stuff,
Yeah.
the meat comes tough, like it's not soft. So that's kind of one of the analogies I try to use with my people is to keep them calm so that they can actually perform and think better. But yeah, and then that's how
Just having the right attitude.
the right attitude come in. We try to keep things positive.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, if you come with negative vibes, leave it out the door.
Yeah.
Don't bring it in because it rubs off. You know what I mean? And if they're not
Exactly.
feeling good, I send them home, and they come back later and stuff. So, but it's a great experience with the kids. I learned a lot from them too, and also from my leaders and stuff. So they all help. It's just having the right people on your team
Exactly.
to make it work. So that's the struggle, is finding the right people.
and that's like for any job, yeah,
Correct.
anything. And for your position, you have to be patient. Was there any part of in your upbringing, in your growing, in your journey, that you felt depressed, or this is not it, or I want to give up already? That you're able to pass to these kids when they come through, because they come in young.
Yep.
A lot of times they don't have they don't have family here.
Right.
They're away from their family. They're down, they're depressed, because things had happened here in our own community,
Yep.
in suicidal things, and was there any part of your life that ever you went through that, and were you able to come out of that, or how did you do that, and you can pass the knowledge on to these kids, or if you haven't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's family members and stuff that's been through it and stuff, and then so we kind of been a part of trying to help them get through that too. So we kind of knew the process of things. And there's many times we had to down, like ready to give up on life and everything. But the thing that made it switch it was, like I said, like was a purpose. The way it's all about my kids, my family, to live for. Right? And then you just look, okay, how can I be better? And then just try to keep my mind busy on things. I feel that would help in that way, because once you just ponder and keep thinking about a certain thing, that's when you just get deeper and deeper.
Your mind keep going and going and going.
And it's really Satan who's trying to, discourage you and stuff. So like when things like that happen, usually I have people, I tell them, like once you feel you're not in control and you're just going deep, you just gotta somehow say that the prayer thing, like in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave.
Yeah.
And then that's what I use when I chase away Satan and stuff, whatever. But then you would say that, and then it'll get you back to be able to get in control.
Get a reset
to bring yourself back, snap out of it, kind of thing. But sometimes some people can't even say it because Satan's trying to stop them from saying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's all I share with my students on that, and then just try to keep your mind occupied every time, because once you dwell and then you're in a room, you feel like everything's just closing in, and then you just dark. It's dark, you know what I mean? You just feel low. So
I appreciate that. I really feel that these guys are blessed to have you here, as their leader, as an executive chef, learning from your journey, from your family, and all the breakdowns that you went through, coming from a dishwasher to now you kind of oversee the whole area. I just want to, show you love, that I'm grateful to be a friend, to be a brother, and to see where you have come from and all the strides that you've made through your life, and to get to this spot. Is this the spot for Prez, or are you looking for another spot?
I'm looking for bigger things after this. It's just a stepping stone for me. I'm really trying to learn as much as I can here. Future wise, what I'm looking at is, who knows, we can create something bigger for myself, just to try it, because I mean, life's too short to just settle for this, you know what I mean? So this is not the actual end of the world. This is just a stepping stone for me. In the future, who knows what could come? But I'm looking to do things that's never been done before, type of thing.
That's what I'm talking
about. So using my skills and talent, whatever I can share, that's what I'm gonna do, and just figure it out. Right now, we're trying to figure out things with my kids, my sons, and my daughter. Then we're trying to create some business and stuff, see how we can progress. But everything has to be, we have to share knowledge, positive energy, type of thing, and not look. It's not about the money. Money would be helpful, to it'll all fall into place if we got a set thing to give out to just donate to people and just to make people better. I'm always open to helping, sharing my knowledge with anybody else too, So on YouTube with the videos that I used to make before was just to
Yeah.
share with people. Like I never try to, like make money off that or whatever. It was just more, hey, this is what I know. I wish somebody showed me when I was young or looking to learn how to
Mhm.
cook something,
Yeah.
the rice in the oven and stuff. So then I just made it just to share with the people because I know that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
So everything that I share on social media is not even planned. I'm telling you, like it's really just when I'm feeling it or think about, oh yeah,
Yeah.
boom, boom. My kids are like, yeah, you're not supposed to do it that way. It's etiquette, whatever. I don't even care about the etiquette.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, boom, I'm sharing it because, and also keeping it on record. So
Yeah.
if you're ever in another side of the world, you can still watch it, and it don't, my phone is not out of memory and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it on the platform just to let it go out, but just so I don't lose it. It's
Yeah.
part of a memory. So
And that is good. And I think I saw those videos and I was like, yeah, I'm like, Frank, I would like to hire my classmate to be a chef on my events and stuff. So I don't have to pay others. Then I can just pay someone that's already been there to do things. You know what I mean?
right,
I know
right.
we talked about this. I was there catering and stuff. Like, nah, why would I pay the school? Maybe I can just pay you and the crew. That's my
Yeah,
thinking. Why give my money to other people when you can run your whole thing?
right. And that's
You
that's
know what I'm
part
saying?
of some of the ideas that we're looking at for the future is to have our own catering.
Yeah,
Um, there's
awesome.
many things we're trying to look at, a certain truck or something. But I was just looking, just create a lot of money streams, and then be able to
Yeah,
run all different areas and just just to
awesome.
help. Yeah, but
That's
but
awesome.
we also have catering here at BYU. You can order online
Hmm.
at byuh.edu.
Hmm.
That's we do caterings, we do takeouts and stuff like that. That's not including with what we do
Yeah,
here.
and I'm so grateful. You know, because I want to walk around. Can we walk around before we end this? You're able to take us on a little tour
Yep,
of what you do here, your operation, and just kind of show our people that are the outsiders welcome to come eat too.
yep. Outsiders welcome to come. We're open from Sunday to
See,
Saturday. We have
buffet style.
no breakfast on Sunday. It's just lunch and dinner, and then Monday through Friday is today is what Saturday.
Yeah.
So we have a brunch today from like 9 to 1,
Mm.
and then yeah, I will show you guys the areas where we have. Everybody's welcome to come in. I know a lot of people. This is one thing I think everybody kind of compares the banyan to like a restaurant. But you gotta, if you really think about it and compare it to another calf, it's different. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I think it's the higher end of calf
Yeah.
food. You know what I mean? But we try to you know cook as much ethnic foods for to kind of touch base with all the students because there's a whole bunch of different cultures that's here that go to school here and that we feed. So we try to hit all the areas so that, but we can't. You just got to remember you can never satisfy everyone. Huh?
No.
So
No.
that's the thing. We have all the people wanting. I
Yeah.
want this. How come they get it? How come
Yeah.
whatever? But we just put out what we can do.
We cannot satisfy everybody with the food. Eat what they have. But you know what? I've been here a couple of times, and every time we've been here, my family, we love it. And it's a good price. I think it's a cheap price for the food, the way they make here, the presentation. But
And then also don't come thinking it's like a Las Vegas buffet because you're gonna pay that much price and like, oh shoot, hey, we're gonna get every no. We only have a certain amount of things because we still gotta control the costs and
yeah.
but
But
yeah,
it's great. It's great. But before you take me on a little tour of your place, I want to take everybody with us too and check this out.
cool.
And I appreciate this time with you for allowing me to share this platform with you.
Yeah,
And then it's okay. We're gonna take a walk.
yeah. You can take a
Yeah.
walk anyway.
All right. Come join us. Let's go.
Let's go.